Hey, SKOL Vikings family. What's up, you purple-blooded warriors? This is your die-hard Vikings fan, straight from the heart of Minnesota, fired up and ready to dive into the latest Vikings news that's got me grinning ear to ear. Imagine this, our young gunslinger McCarthy, the 22-year-old phenom who's been through the ringer, steps up against the Washington Commanders in Week 14 and unleashes absolute magic, 3 touchdown bombs, 0 turnovers, and a shutout domination that feels like destiny calling. But hold up, is this just a flash in the pan, or the start of something epic? Stick with me because we're breaking it down scene by scene, and by the end, you'll be chanting McCarthy's name louder than a US Bank Stadium roar. Who's ready to SKOL? Let's charge in. Before we roll, quick heads up from your Vikings news scout. I dug into the freshest updates, and yep, that 31-0 thrashing over the Commanders was real as it gets. McCarthy went 16 for 23, 163 yards, 3 TDs, no picks, and our D forced 3 turnovers. No fake news here, just pure purple pride. Now, let's unpack why this timing is sneaky brilliant. Public opinion on McCarthy had hit rock bottom heading into Week 14. Folks, fans griping, analysts doubting, the whole vibe screaming rookie struggles. But then, boom, one game changes the narrative. That Sunday slaughter of the Commanders? It wasn't just a win. It was McCarthy's best outing yet, slinging 3 touchdowns without a single giveaway, completing 69.6% of his passes for 163 yards and a sky-high 129.2 passer rating. Our run game piled on 162 yards, with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason feasting, making his job a breeze. It's like the kid finally exhaled and remembered he's got that Michigan championship DNA. What gets me pumped is how this lands right when McCarthy needs it most, after a brutal stretch of inefficiency, including that nightmare 87-yard, 2-pick disaster at Lambeau. Remember those clutch fourth-quarter heroics against the Bears and Lions? Yeah, that fire was back, but sustained for a full 60 minutes. Kevin O'Connell dialed in the perfect game plan, focusing on reads and ball security over mechanics, and McCarthy played free, like the weight of the world lifted off his shoulders. Vikings news is buzzing. This wasn't luck. It was growth, plain and simple. And here's the hook that keeps me up at night. What if this is the teaser for the real McCarthy emerging? With our D, led by Brian Flores, pitching a shutout and snagging 3 turnovers from a reeling Commanders squad on their 8th straight loss. The stage is set. But is one game enough to flip the script on this 5-8 season? Tell me in the comments. Does this salvage our playoff hopes? Or is it just a morale booster? Let's keep the energy rolling into the next scenes, because the dropback math is about to blow your mind. You know how quarterbacks are like fine wine? They don't peak right out the gate? NFL stats back it up. Most QBs don't show their true colors until 250 to 300 dropbacks. That sweet spot where the noise fades and talent shines through. Analysts like Connor McQuiston crunched the numbers last year using the padding approach from stat gurus Kostya Medvedovsky and Tango Tiger, and bam, the bell curve peaks at around 272 dropbacks for reliable projections. That's not fluff. It's science saying early games are just gravy in hindsight. Enter McCarthy at 238 dropbacks, right on the cusp, saving his fireworks for the eve of that magic mark against Washington. 3 TDs, no turnovers, efficient as heck. Coincidence? I think not. If QBs average 30 dropbacks a game, McCarthy hits that stabilization point in the next 1, 2, or 3 weeks. Vikings news highlight. This means Sunday's performance isn't random. It's the undercover jump we've been waiting for. A covert signal that our guy's trajectory is bending upward. Picture this. McCarthy's been grinding through recovery from that meniscus tear last season, honing footwork in the facility while absorbing O'Connell's scheme. Now, at 238 drops, he's outpacing the early slumps of legends. Fans, does this stat geek you out like it does me? Hit the comments. Do you buy the dropback theory, or is it all about heart? We're building suspense here. Next up, what this really means for Vikings football's immediate future. So, what does hitting this dropback milestone spell for our purple squad? If McQuiston's research holds, and why wouldn't it with that error-minimizing average of 272.57? We're on the verge of the verdict to end all verdicts on McCarthy's short-term spark. It's not a promise of Super Bowl glory overnight, but it screams that the real JJ is knocking. ready to reveal himself in these crunch time weeks. After salvaging belief post that Chargers rout, this win feels like a pivot point. McCarthy's always had that clutch gene, even in struggles. Think those epic fourth-quarter comebacks versus Chicago twice and that underdog grit in Detroit. But Week 14? That was full-game fire, ditching the historical inefficiency for poise under pressure. With our offense clicking, run game dominating, protection holding despite 4 sacks. It's like O'Connell unlocked the cheat code. Vikings news whisper. The best might not just be coming. It could be here. Hang tight, SKOL Nation. This isn't hype. It's hope rooted in data. Imagine McCarthy channeling this into Dallas next. What's your bold prediction for his dropback explosion? Drop it below, your takes fuel my fire. We're ramping up the stakes now because history has some star-studded examples of QBs who bombed early and boomed late. Let's talk busts and breakthroughs. Most QBs who flounder through 6 starts like McCarthy did end up as trivia questions, sad but true. But exceptions? Oh man, they light up the league like Jared Goff and Josh Allen, guys who turned early trash into treasure. Dive into the EPA plus CPOE metrics. That's expected points added combined with completion percentage over expectation, and it's eye-opening. At 230 dropbacks, McCarthy's at -0.017, edging Josh Allen's -0.020 and smoking Goff's -0.036. These aren't flukes. Allen and Goff were written off early, buried in inefficiency, yet they flipped the script into MVP-caliber runs. McCarthy, at the same checkpoint, is already ahead on the numbers. Vikings news gem. It's happened before, this phoenix from ashes rise, and with JJ's arm talent and that Michigan poise, why not him? It's a wee bit of hope, but in Vikings land, we devour every crumb. Feels surreal, right? Our 22-year-old dad, yeah, first-time father duties and all, mirroring those trajectories. What if McCarthy's the next Allen, dragging us to relevance? Shout it out. Goff or Allen? Who's JJ more like? Your replies could be prophetic. Building that tension now because those upcoming games are about to test this theory like never before. Fast forward to the must-watch horizon. That teaser we saw at US Bank Stadium? It's just the appetizer for Dallas on Sunday Night Football, where McCarthy crosses 250 dropbacks and starts peeling back the real layers. Then, tunneling deeper toward 300 in New York against the Giants the week after. Talk about primetime pressure cookers. If the dropback data holds, these are the spots where EPA and CPOE settle, unveiling the true McCarthy unfiltered. Cowboys Stadium under the lights? Electric. Giants next? Brutal test. But with our D's shutdown vibes, holding Washington to zilch and forcing those 3 turnovers, McCarthy's got runway to soar. Vikings news alert. These aren't just games. They're Revelation Central, must-see TV for every purple diehard. The second half in Dallas could be fireworks. Week 15 in Jersey, the full show. Who else is marking calendars? Tell me, fans, Dallas win to hit 250, or Giants explosion at 300? Paint the picture in comments. Let's manifest this magic. We're at the edge now, zooming into that free-flowing McCarthy magic from Sunday that had analysts raving. Zone coverage's Tom Shire nailed it post-Week 14. McCarthy was playing free, like the quarterback who orchestrated that fourth-quarter miracle in Chicago or the 9.5-point underdog stunner in Detroit. Gone was the muddled version from Lambeau's 87-yard nightmare. In his place, a liberated leader who made the offense take flight for the first time since that Lions win. It was vintage JJ, poised, precise, and painting the field. Credit the offseason grind. Holed up in the Vikings facility, battling back from the meniscus tear, McCarthy drilled footwork and mechanics while devouring O'Connell's playbook. But Sunday, O'Connell smartly shifted focus, no mechanics obsession, just right reads and ball security. Result? Best game since Week 9 in Detroit, a rhythm that sparked 313 total yards, including that 162 rush monster. Shire's words hit home. It felt like he had salvaged the season after the Chargers routed them 10 days prior. Those doubts? Vanished. Vikings news scoop. This was McCarthy shedding chains, and if he builds, he's our future. What's your favorite JJ highlight from the shutout? Replay it with me in the comments. Let's relive the glory. That run game's assist was chef's kiss, brothers and sisters, 162 yards on the ground. Jones with 76 on 14 carries, Mason adding 52 in a score, even McCarthy scrambling for 19. It opened everything, letting JJ pick apart a Commander's D-ranked bottom tier in every metric. But he avoided the risky stuff, absorbing hits yet staying clean, no turnovers in a career-high 3 TD outing. Efficiency jolt? Understatement of the year. Our D was the backbone, though Brian Flores' crew suffocating Washington, snagging picks from Andrew Van Ginkel and Harrison Smith, plus Javon Hargrave's fumble recovery. First shutout since 23, flipping last week's blank in Seattle into history's margins. Vikings news buzz. McCarthy's command from snap 1 set the tone. A 61-yard opening drive capped by that 18-yard laser to Josh Oliver. This synergy is what dreams are made of. Fans, did the ground attack make or break JJ's day? Weigh in below. Your insights keep the conversation purple. We're winding toward the horizon. But first, one more deep dive on salvaging this wild ride. Those pre-commanders' notions of a lost season? Long gone, my friends. McCarthy's gem salvaged the belief he can lead this team forward, especially if he stacks wins over the next 4. From 5-8 to spoiler status, this 31-0 route, our second home win, builds momentum heading to Dallas. Playoffs? Slim but irrelevant when your QB looks this locked in, hitting tight ends like TJ Hawkinson and Josh Oliver for multiple scores. O'Connell's sideline genius shown too, that play design freeing Justin Jefferson for what could have been a 66-yard bomb, turning into McCarthy's 16-yard scramble. Confidence boost? Massive. Vikings news final take. Those early struggles built resilience. Now, with dropbacks climbing, the verdict's incoming. It's not just a win. It's a whisper of what's possible. As we wrap this epic, reflect with me, McCarthy's journey, from injury rehab to fatherhood to this breakout, mirrors every Viking fan's roller coaster. What's the one change you see in his game? Spill it in comments. Let's debate like family. You've stuck with me through 15 scenes of purple passion. Now, hit that like button if you're hyped. Drop your hottest McCarthy hot take below. Subscribe for daily Vikings news drops so you never miss the SKOL. And share this with your fellow warriors. Let's turn up the volume on this resurgence. SKOL Vikings. Forever. Who's with me?